Hey, everybody. I had a chance today to talk with Brooke Pauley, who is the founder and CEO of Horsepower Today. She'll explain a little bit about who Horsepower is, but there were several things she shared that all of our listeners will really enjoy. Everything is a season, so things pass through life. That was one of the things that she shared. She is a forever student, and she's learned to be very intentional and trust her gut. You do not want to miss this episode. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Kara Kirsch, the host of the Ignite Women in Business and Insurance podcast. It is -6 degrees in Omaha, Nebraska today. And so, we're over here living up the dream of the weather. And it's a Friday. I'm very excited today to introduce a guest that I've just started to build a friendship and relationship with. And I'll tell you that she is a complete badass and is leading a company, making change in the world. She's a wife. She's a mama. Brooke Pauley, I'm so excited to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So usually when we have guests on, we, get to know a little bit about each other and things like that. So tell us about Brooke. Where did you come from? Now, let me say, I always tell people, I know you came from your mother, but after that, where did you come from?
Yeah, born and raised in Hastings, Nebraska, or actually Juniata, Nebraska, outside of Hastings, but small town of 800. So I'll claim Hastings as my hometown.
And for those that are not from Nebraska, would you think of Hastings as central Nebraska?
Central Nebraska.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Small town, normal, traditional, good American family. Loving parents, 2 brothers, and I met my husband when I was a senior in high school, and we got engaged 6 months later, and so we've been together ever since. So going on, June will be 19 years. We've been together for almost 21 years, and we have 4 lovely children. It's my oldest 13th birthday today, so we're celebrating her.
So tell our guests about this birthday party. This is new to me, so I'm hoping that people that are listening that have kids in this age range are like, oh yeah, I know what that is.
Well,
What's the theme of the party?
Her theme is Fancy Nancy, so I don't know if that's a traditional teenager birthday theme. I don't think it is, but she just wants to dress up, take pictures, have fancy drinks, and fancy dessert.
So awesome. So they'll be having mocktails and you and your husband will having stiff cocktails.
Hopefully. We'll see how it goes.
And what will the other kids be doing during said Fancy Nancy party?
My other kids, I have twins that are 10-year-old girls, and then a 6-year-old boy. The twins have a birthday party. It is an ice skating party, so I don't know if they'll be going to that with this weather.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we'll try and get everyone out of the house, and I'll just be there to chaperone.
Love it. Love it. Tomorrow I have kind of a full day myself. I'm going to Sandy Spady's event. And
Is that tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And in the morning I have a couple of things. So I'm excited. It's very, very cold here. And I realized today that I don't have like a warm, fluffy sweater. So today I might go try to find one because, in those conferences, it can be cold.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be cold.
Yeah.
I would like to take a heated blanket with me.
I mean,
there are battery-operated ones.
Do you really want to go out shopping today?
No. And I don't have a battery-operated blanket, but Amazon could probably bring me one.
You might get one in a day.
Or Instacart.
There you go.
There you go. So when we think about, and I've noticed when I've been listening to these recordings that I say, so kind of like that. So I'm going to try not to do that.
Now we're all going to hear it.
Right.
Every
time I say it, everybody's going to hear it. So what inspired you to do what you're doing? Tell us about your career trajectory. I know you're a CPA.
I am a CPA by background. Never thought I wanted to get into the accounting industry. In high school, wanted to be a forensic pathologist. Wanted to go down the med school route. I was obsessed with CSI, the show. So
as I am.
Wanted to live that life. Actually, my high school math teacher said, you should be an accountant. And I said, what is that? Fast forward, got married to Dan, followed him so he could attend law school, and got a job at an accounting firm servicing bookkeeping clients because I had some bookkeeping experience. And I said, I have a job at an accounting firm. I might as well get that accounting degree. So went back to school and went down the accounting degree rabbit hole, and it's been history ever since. So did the traditional path to the CPA exam, passed the CPA exam, and worked my way up. And I was in a traditional accounting firm for 8 years before moving into private industry.
Mm-hmm. And what took you down the path of being an entrepreneur?
Well, so when I was in my public accounting world, I worked with a ton of small and medium-sized business owners, and I really fell in love with the entrepreneur, the business owner, and everything they went through and how my accounting knowledge and providing that information could support them. And so when I left public industry, public accounting, I missed working with clients. So I found my way back to just working with clients on the side, helping them, supporting them with just their basic accounting. And through that and my history and my husband's career as a business attorney, we came up with the idea of Horsepower Today, which was getting all of the advisors for a business owner around the table, working proactively for the client, being a part of their team and not just called when needed. And so that was 5.5 years ago, and it was just a vision. We both had full-time jobs. I had a full-time career as a controller in private industry, and so it never was going to be anything. Fast forward 2.5 years ago, we said, let's do it. I was looking to leave work and stay home full-time, and we all knew that was going to last maybe a day. So
6 minutes.
thought it was going to be time. It could be time to just dive into it head first.
Mm-hmm.
So took the vision, myself and a laptop, partnered with a business partner, and we grew it Horsepower Today into what it is today, where we are servicing the entrepreneurs, the business owners, helping them and creating that strategic team for them.
Yeah, I love the idea so much. And the first time that we met, I knew that your name had been mentioned to me before I met you. I don't know if I ever told you that.
My name?
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone had said, you need to meet Brooke Pauley. And then I go to the Hustle conference. Oh, no, here I remember it. The first time we met was last year at Sandy Spady's event.
Yes.
And Christy Anderson said, you need to meet Brooke Pauley.
Yes.
And so I think that's how we got seated together. Someone sat us together at that table.
Yep.
And I think it was her. And then time passed. Both of us were busy. And then we didn't really connect like outside of that. I think we both said, let's get together. And we didn't. And
As
then
it goes.
Yeah. And then we got to the Hustle conference, which was also amazing. And at that time, I was really starting to think about like, what's next for me? And that conference really ignited my fire a lot. And so we had an opportunity to sit outside and chat. And I remember one of the things you sent to me after the conference was just around like, believe in yourself, believe in your vision. There is a place for you in this world and it matters and that kind of thing. And I was really like, I think whenever women are authentic in that way with women they don't know well, it's always a really good sign that they're for women.
Yes.
Because not all women are.
Yeah.
And so fast forward, here we are. And even meeting to talk about ways that our companies can support one another through growth and learning and that kind of thing. Because the Kirsch Group, which officially launched this Monday, January 19th.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you. And Horsepower, have some synergies. And so there's some things that I think we can do together. And so having conversations about that and being open-minded is important to me. But you find your people real quick.
Yeah, I mean, that Hustle conference was amazing and the connections made. And I remember having coffee with you as well, but I didn't think that what I said or did was impactful. So I really appreciate hearing how you're impacted. I was just trying to support and be honest. And again, I view myself as I don't have anything to share. So the fact that you can look to me and I can provide that support and grow you however you need it is my purpose.
Yeah, a ditto. And I believe you have a lot to share. So I'm going to need you to get rid of that statement and never use it again. I am Brooke Pauley and I have a fucking lot to share.
Hey.
Yeah. So when we think about, growing your company and being a mother and a wife, how do you manage all of that?
I get asked that question all the time, and I have good support. I have good help at home. Obviously, my husband is a great partner, and we split duties equally. I have family in town that can help with the kids, but also I don't know if I could do it any other way. I don't know what it means to slow down or step back or not be juggling all the balls. So it feels normal to me. Um, and I am energized by trying to keep everything going.
Mhm. Lots of women are. One of the things I noticed this week about myself was I was so busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursday, I got up and I was like, I'm tired. And so I had to push through it because I had several things that I had committed to.
Yeah.
And, but by 2 o'clock, so after we met,
Yeah.
I was finito. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs who go so hard and then get to a place where they need to take a break? And I gave myself permission yesterday.
Right.
I was like, you're fine. You've worked really hard this week and you've accomplished a lot. And I think as women, we're always like, did we do enough?
Yeah.
But what advice would you give to entrepreneurs as they're starting out to not listen to themselves, to keep going, going, going?
Yeah, I mean, you push through it and you know the work that needs to get done, and it falls on you to get it done, right? And so knowing that you're the end stop, you're the one that has to carry it through, so pushing through. But then I always say give yourself grace.
Yeah.
That's even advice I give to my mama friends, right? Who they're trying to be the perfect mom and the perfect wife and maybe have a career outside of the home, but it's give yourself grace.
Yeah.
I'm probably the first to admit that I don't give myself me time. I'm getting better at it, but knowing that if you're not okay, then you won't be doing anybody else a service. So
This year, the Ignite conference theme is rooted and resilient. Can you think of a time when you were resilient recently and you had to give grace to yourself? You had to accept something that may have been hard. What advice would you give around those scenarios or circumstances that come up that weren't anticipated but made you stronger or better after it?
yeah, one of our core values at Horsepower Today is grit, and that goes along the lines of resiliency and being resilient. And I live by the philosophy that everything is a season, right? So it might be really, really hard right now, but you will get through it. You just push through it. And just because it's hard now doesn't mean it's going to be hard in 3 months. So roll up your sleeves, get through it, be resilient, and you'll come out on the end stronger and better.
And utilize your people.
Reach out to your support, reach out to your network, admit when you're not the expert or you need help. It's okay to not be everything to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. In fact, that statement brings me back to our coffee we had on New Year's.
Yeah.
And you guys hosted a beautiful party that night, which I was lucky enough to attend, and I loved it so much.
I was tired,
Especially, yeah. Well, and when you came, remember, I don't know if it was like the big sister in me who was like,
You saw it. You saw it on my
something's
face."
not quite right here. But being vulnerable as a woman is a sacred place because it's not always embraced.
Yes.
And because of what we go through to prove ourselves, demonstrate all the things, that vulnerable place can often feel like a place of weakness and a place where others might, put us in an unsafe position, not physically, but just, emotionally, and our egos and all of those kinds of things. On that day, if you can remember back to it, and I think this is what changed our relationship.
Yeah.
Our friendship grew that day. To me, what was it that allowed you to be vulnerable? Do you remember? Was there something about that day that you were like, you know what, I want to cancel, but I'm not going to? I remember you saying that. What made you come that day? And after you left, because I know I felt recharged, how did you feel? And what advice would you give to people when they're in that place of I'm tired and I don't know what I have to give this person, but I'm going to show up anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, being vulnerable is very hard for me. My natural reaction is to put up the wall, go into a hole, and shut everybody out,
Me
even
too.
the people closest to me.
Mhm.
They will tell you that I can shut down so quick. So being vulnerable is a new feeling for me, but I'm learning that as I do that, it helps and things turn around quicker. And so, being with you on New Year's Eve, having coffee, and you recognizing it and seeing it, like we don't know each other. We haven't known each other for that long. So
Yeah.
for you to see it on my face probably meant that it's more obvious, or I'm not doing very well at putting the mask on and putting on a straight face, a good face. But even I think just your personality, you're gonna push me to be vulnerable. You're gonna force me to be vulnerable, and knowing that you share experiences that you've gone through lets me know that I can share with you, and it's safe. And so finding your team, your tribe, your people to share with and do life with and experience the ups and downs, and knowing that there's no judgment, there's no bad feelings, and you can turn around and put makeup on the next day and be in a good place.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And I think you said something really important about, putting a mask on. I know that for me, I have told a few people that I didn't realize how unhappy I was in my prior role. And I say that because the energy it took for me to wear that mask every single day and be someone that I really wasn't, in terms of I wanted people to like me. I didn't want them to think I was fill in the blank negative adjective. I didn't want that.
Yeah.
And every day I was getting feedback about, well, Kara this or Kara this. And it was exhausting. And I didn't realize how much of my energy I was putting into being someone that I wasn't. And I'm not saying like it was this drastic contrast, but when we have to take away from our greatness and minimize,
Yeah.
it takes energy.
Yep. I think that's the beauty of women entrepreneurship, right? You
Yes.
get to step out of the box, and you get to be who you are, who you want to be, and build and create something that is yours that you can be proud of, and you don't have to follow anybody else's rules.
Mm-hmm. You can be your great self.
Yeah.
You can recognize where you may have confidence that others don't.
Right.
One thing I saw yesterday when we got together, and it was a tremendously impactful leadership moment, is when you had your team with me, you really let your team take the driver's seat.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't know if that's a learned behavior for you, but how did you get to a place of confidence where you could say to your team, or even you didn't even say anything. You didn't say like, hey, you take this answer. They just did. And you just were there. Talk to me about your leadership style in that way. How do you give space for others to demonstrate their expertise and capability?
Well, I will be the first to admit that I have surrounded myself with team members that I don't even believe I should be at the table. So I am so fortunate that they are experts in their field. They are incredible human beings, incredible in their careers. And so I have so much to learn from them. So anytime we can get together and I can listen to them speak, listen to them be in their groove,
Mm-hmm.
I always learn.
Me too.
I'm a forever student and love to learn from business owners, team members, all experiences. And so letting them do their thing. I don't view the horsepower team as it's me and then everybody reports to me. It is, we are all collaborative, we're all growing this, and everybody brings something to the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are some common pitfalls you might see in leadership that you've learned as you've grown horsepower that you could share with others?
Yeah, what I've experienced is not how do I put it? Being confident in my gut feeling or my decisions, right? I surround myself with people and people on my team, but if I have a decision that needs to be made, historically, I would let other opinions get in the way of that. And then looking back, it would it would be I should have just gone with my gut decision, my gut feeling. So being stronger in trusting that I know what I'm talking about, I know what I want, I know where we're headed, and I am in this position to lead the company. Obviously, I love to surround myself with advice and good advice and learn from people, but taking all of those and then formulating my decision to go forward.
How do you teach your kids the responsibility of being a CEO? Because I remember when I was in the thick of it in parenting like you are, because I have grown kids, you know, teaching them about the responsibility of being a leader and sharing some of that guidance with them. And also, like, they don't care. They just want your time. They don't care that you might have a call or things like that. How do you teach them the significance of what you're trying to do and ask for their grace and support in return?
Well, my first motivation of doing what I do is for my 3 girls. I want to show them that women can do
And
it
you
all.
are, because you're a complete badass.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think they would say that. They love to call me boss lady, and they want to be a girl boss like mom, and so I feel like I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm very intentional with my time with them, so they know, and I'm very clear, I need to work, or I need to spend a few hours in front of the computer, but then after that, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Or the weekends are usually all kids all the time, feels like a vacation almost every weekend because we're just making sure that we give them the quality time that they need.
Mhm.
But then I also just try to instill in them the behaviors or the attributes of a leader. So we talk a lot about decisions and consequences, and I am not a helicopter parent, so I let
Neither.
them make decisions and see what's going to come of those consequences. Obviously, they have a safe space to learn from their mistakes, but then also the way they treat people and treating people who are different from them and being kind to everybody and encouraging everybody.
Yeah.
Being respectful. We take our kids out to dinner a lot, but they have to order their own meal. They have to look the server in the eye. They have to be respectful. We have a little game with them that if they get a compliment by the end of the meal, then they'll get dessert or a special treat. And so
I love that.
every time we have someone come by and say, your kids were so well behaved, they think it's a big win for them.
Yeah. No, I think you have to take your kids out into the world. I have a 2-year-old grandson, not ready for the world.
Oh,
And he is not restaurant friendly.
yeah. That's a tough age.
But I think part of the problem is he acts differently when he's with me than his mom.
Sure.
And so when it's the 3 of us,
Yeah.
he's kind of pushing the boundary. So I don't know that he's not restaurant friendly because he's a very, very good boy, but he's wild.
What kind of grandmother are you?
And I'm like, well, but he wants that. Like, it's he
Do you
came
give into everything?
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least right now. I mean, I do redirect because I watch him overnight because my daughter's a nurse.
Yeah.
And so I don't let him run amok at my house, but
He has to have fun.
yeah, like we
Grandma.
have fun. But I will say my daughter plays with him. She plays. They have organized play. She's such a wonderful mother. But I remember my kids in taking them places. And interestingly, I had a friend tell me, I think I might have seen her on Monday, and I was like, "How was your weekend?" And we were gonna chat on Sunday for a couple minutes, and she ended up having to change it because they ended up going to a later mass. I had gone at 10, and then she texted me and said, "Hey, we're not going till noon. Can we talk tomorrow?" Sure. And they have a 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Oh, wow.
And so she's like, the 3-year-old has learned that if she's loud enough at church, she'll get taken out.
Yep.
And they don't have a children's mass or a cry room there because they want the children to be part of the mass. And so she was like, oh, it's so hard. And I said, you know what? My youngest was kind of like that. And this is the what I did. We sat in the front.
Yeah.
The closer we got to the front.
Well, then they can see what's going on.
Yeah. And well, that's what she said. She said, actually, that's probably a good idea because she could see better.
Yeah.
So if you think about it from a child's lens,
Yeah.
what can we do to give them the ability to be successful in the environments that they're in.
Right.
And I said, and the other thing is, you can't take her out. She's got to learn that.
Well, she'll learn. Yeah. She'll learn.
She's got to learn that, who's in charge kind of a thing. But I think parenting it's the hardest job you'll ever do. It's way harder than any business job.
Yeah.
And you have a lot more consequence if you don't do a good job.
Right.
If you're not present and guiding your children through whatever it is. And I love it that you give your kids the opportunity to make decisions, because are you Gen X? Or are
I
you
think I'm a millennial.
Yeah. Well, Gen X, we were told what to do.
Right.
Like, we did not have any decision-making authority. And I remember when I got to college and I started making bad decisions, very bad, not going to class,
Yeah.
sleeping in. There was no cell phones. We didn't have any of that. And then I had consequences, bad grades, professors who were like, come to class, that'd probably help you get your grade up. Because we just didn't. We did what we were told.
Yeah.
We were seen and not heard. That's
Right.
one of the things that was said to us. And if you think about that, just from a woman's perspective,
Yeah.
children are to be seen and not heard. So imagine I'm the oldest child and the only daughter.
Yep.
And so I really internalized that. Children are to be seen and not heard. It's better if I'm quiet.
But you broke. I mean,
Yeah.
you broke
But I
out
was
of that.
I was never quiet, but I was very compliant. And so once I didn't have to be compliant, all hell broke loose.
Okay.
Because then I was like, oh, okay. Now, I stumbled around a lot, but with
Right.
my kids, I really tried. There were times when I probably used some of that same vernacular, like children are to be seen and not heard, but I don't remember saying it a lot. And my children definitely are not. Like, they will tell you what they think, whether you want to hear it or not,
Right.
you know?
I think I have some of those.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing, because we need people in the world who are unafraid to give their opinion
Yeah.
or speak their truth, whatever that might be.
I liked how you phrased it, the experiences through a child's lens. We are very intentional. If we have a business trip, we try to take one of our children with us so they can experience. So we've had children sitting in on meetings and they're at the end of the table, they're quiet, but you know that they're learning and picking up and listening.
Absolutely.
So we just try to not only have that one-on-one time with them, because there's 4 of them, so we need to be intentional, but then also let them experience what we do, why we're working so hard, and they can see kind of into our day-to-day.
That's amazing. Are you involved in the community at all right now? I know that your time is limited, but are you serving on any boards, or is that a goal that you have?
I did just join the Ronald McDonald House board, so I'm very excited to be a part of that team. So we'll see how that
What
goes.
made you join?
Just a friend of a friend connection. Lindsay Ray Corton, the executive director there, she asked me to join. I have some connections who are on the board, so thought it was going to be a good fit, and definitely want to get involved in the community. Again, we've been in Omaha. It'll be 7 years in May, and just with raising kids and starting businesses, our time has been a little divided and focused elsewhere. So as things, I wouldn't say stabilize, but
They never will.
Right.
You're never going to have, you need to lose that word immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we've had
As your time
started 2
commitments
businesses
change.
in 3 years.
Yes.
As we get more comfortable
Yeah.
with our
Love that.
focus, we can be more involved in the community.
Well, and I think it's important to not create a stigma that we have to be doing something like a board in the community. Because let's be honest, there's only a certain amount of time in a day.
Yeah, and I don't want to do a disservice.
Correct. And I have joined boards before and not understood fully the time commitment.
Right.
And then been frustrated with myself and felt like a failure because I couldn't contribute in the level I wanted to, and then had to exit stage left. And I'm only on one board right now. And I enjoy participating because there's a nice alignment between, it's a healthcare company. I do healthcare for clients. And so it's a nice alignment in terms of what I'm doing and hearing from that side of the business.
Yeah.
Because my clients buy healthcare, which is provided by the board that I'm on. So I get
Sure.
to hear the sort of multiple sides of the story.
Yeah.
And I'm always in my mind trying to connect the pieces and also correct narratives that are said,
Right.
because I feel like that's my responsibility. And so that's good. Where do you see your business going in 10 years?
Oh, 10 years is hard to even imagine.
How about a year?
A year, right? Yeah, Horsepower Today, what we are known best for in the community is our fractional consulting. And so that is a very stable division that we're going to continue to grow and move outside of Omaha
Yeah, I was
or
just going to ask
Nebraska.
that. Where do you want to expand? What are your key markets?
We're probably our next target market. We're going to head to Des Moines and then south. We're thinking Wichita to
Mhm.
Oklahoma City, just up and down the center of the United States before we work our way out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also have other divisions in the works. Horsepower Ventures has been stood up and is rocking and rolling. So getting that more operational,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's more divisions to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can imagine that at your home after your kids are in bed at night that you and your husband are like, does this sound like a good idea?
He said one time that I was more of the entrepreneur than he was, which took me by surprise, but I would probably say that is true. He'll say an idea or shoot something out there, and I will say, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be the one to actually try and think through it and make it into something. But so, yeah, a lot of our date night conversations are centered around business or future business or what do we want to do with
Yeah.
our businesses.
That's so awesome.
It's fun.
I think that's the piece that I yearn for when I see other people have their partner or their husband or, whatever, a close confidant that they live with, because I live alone.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I'm journaling about the idea and then I'll bring it to someone. I'll
Right.
say, hey, what do you think about this? Kind of like the first time, well, we had coffee a couple of times, but on New Year's when we had coffee, that's really when you shared with me the concept of horsepower
Yeah.
and the stables.
Yeah.
And I'd love for you to tell our listeners how it came to be that horsepower was the name.
Yes. Yeah. So again, we provide that fractional consulting. So the outsourced CFO, HR, operations department, and we utilize independent contractors. And so the basis for the name Horsepower is we're giving companies the engine or the team that they need. So
The horse.
The horse. You can go both ways. I
Yeah.
think originally when we were presented with the name, actually a good family friend came up with the name Horsepower Today. I think he was envisioning more cars and the engine to get a company going.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We took it the other.
I like the horse.
I took it the other direction to horses.
Yeah.
And creating that driving force, that team to carry your carriage forward, move your carriage forward. So we utilize independent contractors to provide the services to clients, experts in their field, people who have done consulting work before, people who have been in the weeds, rolled up their sleeves, and have really made an impact on companies. We call them horses. So far, nobody's been upset with that. They like it.
How could they be?
And then, when
But I guess maybe there is someone out there and you would be offended.
there's some people
Yeah.
probably that don't want to be called a horse.
Yeah.
They're like, as long as I'm a stallion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So we like to stay on brand with that. And so our independent contractors, as they're in our network, we call them in the stable. So we have horses in the stable that we can deploy for a client's need.
Yeah. Well, horses are something I grew up with.
Okay.
So my grandmother's brother, they bred quarter horses. And they lived on a kind of, I'll call it a ranch. It wasn't really a ranch, but maybe it was. Anyway, I had the opportunity as a child to go to their house.
Okay.
And they always had a few horses. But the other thing that they had is just, beautiful land, cats.
Mm-hmm.
I think when people have horses, I always believe they have a lot of cats because I think there's a
Barn
lot of mice. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Barn cats or kittens and dogs, of course.
Yes.
But they also had a couple llamas, or they call them alpacas.
Yep.
And I always really loved that. And I do think that my middle child will have not a ranch, but a property in the country.
Really?
He really loves the country. He loves to be outside. He's living in my old house, which is in Bellevue in a neighborhood, but the back of the house backs to nothing. And he put a fire pit in.
Oh.
And he and his buddies sit out there and
Does he have any animals right now?
yeah, he has a dog. He has 2 dogs. He has his dog, which her name's Venus. She's a pit bull and she's beautiful and amazing. And it's true what they say about pits. She is a big baby.
Right.
And I get to watch her next week when he goes out of town. So I'm excited because she loves to walk. And my dog is not a big walker outside. Yeah, it's not going to matter because we still are walking. And then he also has my daughter, Sheltie. So when she had her baby, managing her dog and her baby just was a lot for her. And so TJ took over her Sheltie. And so they're best friends, Sheltie and Sheltie, Luna, and Venus.
Right.
So yeah, we're a big dog family. In fact, this morning I had a coffee at Lola's before I came here. And someone had tied their dog outside at Lola's. And it's 6 degrees below zero.
No.
It was a big dog, like
Yeah.
real big, hairy, sheepish dog.
Sure.
But still, I'm like,
no.
It's kind of like when you go to Arizona and see someone walking their dog when it's 105. You're like, yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah.
So when we think about, you, the woman, you, the CEO, you, the mother, all the things, what's your favorite book?
Ooh, favorite book. That's a tough one.
Do you read?
I do read. Not much. I used to read all the time before life happened. I have been intentional about reading. I love all things Dan Brown.
Oh,
So that would be my...
what? Give me an example of a title.
He wrote The Da Vinci Code.
Oh, yes.
So, but there's so many more books by Dan Brown. So I'm currently reading a Dan Brown book, but then I'm also listening to the 6 Types of Working Genius audiobook.
Yeah.
Which I am loving.
Yeah.
I just recently read The Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yes.
That book was amazing.
Yeah.
So I love reading, probably professional development or self-development books alongside of fun fiction.
Yeah. I kind of go through phases, but right now I'd say I'm 50-50, 50% pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading the 3rd Housemaid book.
Okay.
And then 50% growth. And that can be memoirs. So I love hearing from really smart women. I just got done with Ina Garten's memoir. I don't know if you call it a biography or memoir, but her book was very, very good. And every woman that I listened to Michelle Obama's book. I listened to Demi Moore's book. I listened to Sally Field's book. Those women in that group, they've gone through some shit.
Yeah.
Almost every single one has experienced sexual violence in some regard.
Wow.
By a family member or a close friend. And the amount of minimizing that happens to that group, it's insane. And so I feel like when I know their stories, I'm better able to equip myself and the women that I know and love in a different way. And so I do try to read those. But I also just downloaded Cool Chicks Get Fired.
Ooh. That's fun.
I'm excited about that because I'm one of those cool chicks.
Yeah.
How can our listeners connect with you if they would like to? Where can they find you?
Sure. Well, our website is horsepowertoday.com and then LinkedIn. Connect with me, follow all the things. Dan, my husband, loves to post on LinkedIn. And so my life is usually connected to his through, reposting.
Yeah. And I've noticed he's a big fangirl. He's a big girl fan.
The beautiful Brooke Pauley is what he always says. So I'll take it.
I mean, fuck yes, you should. I wish I had someone posting that. Maybe I could get someone.
There you go.
I could get a bot.
A bot.
And maybe that bot could be, now that I'm thinking about that, that's a pretty genius idea.
Yeah.
I think I'll get a bot.
Someone else to post.
Right.
Like,
someone else who is so fine. Like everyone's like, is that her man?
Yes.
Oh my God, he's so fine.
I love it.
And then I'll be out in the world and be like, did you bring your man with you? Oh, he's traveling right
busy.
now.
He's busy.
Because he's not
You
real.
connect with him.
Right. Well, I just want to tell you a few things about yourself.
Ooh,
So
okay.
buckle up,
I
Buttercup.
don't do well with this kind of stuff, so.
I am so grateful that our paths crossed. I think not only are you beautiful, but your heart is so open to me, and I'm so grateful for that. I think that you've shared your experience in a very unwavering way, and I'm so grateful because it takes relationships like this and an investment of yourself in me that is unwavering, and for that you should know how much I am grateful. And I'm here for you. Like
Thank you.
I'm for you. So I look forward to having you back as a guest in the future
Yes,
and
this
you
is fun.
saying, "Hey, the business got to this," or, whatever milestone that you want as a person, I'm for. And so I
Thank
just
you.
want to say thank you for spending time with me.
Yeah.
And thank you for your business support. I think yesterday's brainstorming session,
I'm
I
excited
left feeling
to see what
like,
comes out of it.
wow, there's a lot of cool things I can write about to share with your team so that they can be on alert.
Yep.
Because I do find my business to be complex to people who don't know it.
Absolutely.
Did your team give you any feedback about the meeting?
No, we actually didn't have a chance to connect after
Yeah.
that, but
I
I'm sure
loved
their
it.
their heads were spinning.
I loved it so much. But for all of our guests, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you're notified of new episodes. Also, just a reminder that you can follow us on all social handles, the Ignite website, and also Ignite on LinkedIn and YouTube and all of the other social handles, Facebook, etc. And we're just excited to continue to share the stories of amazing and wonderful contributors and entrepreneurs and leaders like Brooke. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you
And
for having me.
you're welcome. Thanks
was
to all our
fun.
guests. Enjoy your time and tune in again.